Chapter 3. Young and I had named our car Low because he came to us with a keychain that said Low Grove Chevrolet Ford, and he seemed more like a Low than a Grub. Low was the latest in a series of junker cars that Apogee had bought cheap, counting on his mechanic friend Henry Park to fix things when necessary. That was fine in LA, but as each minute passed, as we drove farther and farther away from Henry and his tools, I worried that every little noise might be Low's death rattle. We were inching up the twisty cliff road that crosses the continental divide when Low started to sputter and cough. There was no shoulder, only a tin foil guardrail that could not keep a mosquito from going over the edge. So Apogee kept going. As we climbed higher, Low whizzed louder. The check engine light flickered. Oma murmured something to Apogee that I couldn't hear. John and I, stuffed in the back seat along with bags of linens, that Dame Buddha, and a cooler, looked at each other and clung to their one armrests. Apogee shifted Low into another gear. The car started to slide backward. John grabbed my hand. Rory cries we passed seconds earlier. We're now passing us. I touched Buddha's nose. If we go, you go, I remind him. The gear cuffed. Cut. Low jerked to a stop, then slowly, reluctantly moved forward. We finally came to one of those places where you can pull over to let people pass if you were going too slow, which we were. Some jerk in a geo-tracker honked at us, spraying gravel. Ping, ping, ping! As he passed, while Apogee struggled to wedge Low into the tiny pull-off. John and I got out and inspected the cliff while Apogee fiddled under the hood. It felt good to be standing on solid ground. Did you know that at the continental divide, rivers actually change direction? John asked. Fingers of a breeze teased my sweaty hair. I like this place. The endless chain of mountains, the curvy trees, clinging like undecided suicide jumpers to the edges of cliffs. I yelled, "Hello!" into the air, hoping for an echo, but there was none. Half an hour and 2 quarters of oil later, we were on our way again. Low sounded better, but I think it was the rest more than the tinkering that did it. We crested the divide, then began the equally twisty ride down. I was wondering at exactly what point the rivers flowed in opposite directions, but John was asleep and I didn't want to balk her. After we left the mountains behind, the ride flattened out. I almost preferred being in a state of panic. Now I had nothing to do except sit and think about how much I miss my friends, my soccer team, our old hangouts. You don't know what you got till it's gone. You don't know what you got till it's gone. That was Sujin had said to me the night before we left. I know it's corny, but for this situation it's applicable. Sujin was always into prepackaged words. Her older favorite line was, "If you love something, set it free," and blah blah blah. I can remember the rest. I think she got them off posters in car stores. Sujin was my friend, my girlfriend. She was also Jong's best friend, so I didn't have to sneak around to see her. A lot of Korean parents are strict, but not as bad as Abuji. He'd regret dating totally off limits until college. Who is he kidding? Even though I got to see Sujin a lot, our dating possibilities were pretty limited for just the two of us. There were no movies, no neighborhood restaurants, no places to just hang out. The Korean CEI, which consisted of anyone's nosy parents, grandparents, and bratty younger brothers and sisters, might see us and report to Abuji. We had been going at a record 2.5 months, but that meant 5 dates, tops. What I liked best about her, I think, was her hair. While most of the girls we knew wore theirs long and straight, or in this spotless palms. She wore hers short and shaggy. It was a mess, and it looked great on her. I like her a lot. I have to say, and I think she liked me a lot too. Who knows what would have happened between us? I'll never know. There's so much I'll never know. Like if I would have been the star wing on the Alameda Country soccer team this year. Mano had introduced me to the team, a bunch of guys who started out playing in the garbage strewn park by us, but were now climbing up in the city ranking. Abaji almost didn't let me play soccer. He thought I'd take too much time away from my studying, and it wasn't something smart college-bound Korean boys did. Only Latinos who ended up working in Korean stores for peanuts. Who can see why Abaji and I don't always see eye to eye. Lucky for me, there were two Chinese guys on the team, Calvin and Curtis Tom. Calvin ended up going to jail. I told Abaji he gone there on a soccer scholarship, although I wasn't sure if that was the case. I almost didn't go to my last practice because I was so busy packing and I was afraid it would make me too sad. But but when I decided, I owned it to Manuel and the team, so I went. I was flying at that last one. I played as hard as I had the day I try out. By the time we quit and flopped on the ground, my blood was taking an express trip around my body. My lungs were gasping for air, and I knew I would probably never feel as happy in my whole life as I did at that moment. Yeah, I remember how the guys looked when Manuel told them I believe in, and then how he surprised me. A red and gold jersey, Alameda Eagles, number 11. It was beautiful. No one on the team will ever wear number 11. It is always the number of our compadre Chan. Claro? Claro. I ran up to Manuel and grabbed him on a bone-crunching hug. He smelled like sweat and chilies. Then I basically ran the whole way home because I just couldn't stay there anymore.